Welcome back to the podcast. This is Chef's Day Off. Chef and I have been drinking, so our cameraman's going to do our intro.
Thank you, Marcus.
He has a name, by the way. This is Terry.
This is Terry, you guys, from behind the camera.
The brains behind this.
Thank you for joining us at Chef's Day Off. Marcus was kind enough to make all of us carajillos prior to filming, so they're coming down from the high. We're going to be talking about mac and cheese today. As always, Marcus from the 101.3 Morning Show, Chef Matthew Dolan from 25 Lusk. Boys, take it away.
Thank you,
Terry, everyone.
God, he's good.
Carajillo is a tequila-based espresso cocktail. Look it up. You're never going to go back. Anyway, Chef, welcome.
Thank you. Welcome and welcome.
It's nice to be back. So my child would like to start learning how to cook. And I said, what do you want to learn how to cook? I have whatever you need. She said, Daddy, I'd like to learn how to make mac and cheese, but like the elevated kind, with the panko crust and the shallots and the bacon bits, the lardons that you do. The problem is I got a little bit of anxiety because I can't seem to nail cheese sauce. So I'm hoping that you, as a 5-star chef, can walk us through mac and cheese.
I can.
That's weird to say, but that's what I need.
No, it's also, what was weirder earlier today was when you came in and you said, we're going to talk about mac and cheese, and you acted as if I needed some time to get my mind around mac and cheese.
Because we were originally going to talk about mashed potatoes.
Insulting.
No, come on.
A professional chef.
We were originally going to talk about
I
mashed
don't have an ego,
potatoes.
but when Marcus comes in and says, hey, can you handle mac and cheese? I'm like, let's see, cooking pasta. And also, Marcus, it's on my roof menu. So
I thought we were in the trust tree back then, but okay.
I've recovered because I realized it was just a little stumble on your part.
You're an all-star. Break it down.
You're wonderful, too.
How do I make mac and cheese?
I will. Cook the pasta first, right?
Okay.
Boiling salted water. I like the elbow macaroni, the bigger one with the rigid walls, because it's a little more forgiving. Some people say al dente.
Is it okay if it gets cold?
Yeah. So what you want to, I think what you want to do, what I want to do at least, is I want to cook it and taste it as we go. We always taste as we go. And when it's soft, it still has structure, but you don't have raw pasta. Strain it, chill it, toss in a little bit of oil, let it cool. Stay at room temperature is fine. And then go make your cheese sauce, because when the cheese sauce is done, you fold in the pasta, we'll top it, we'll talk about that, goes in the oven, boom.
FYI, you slap a little olive oil in there, it keeps the pasta separated so it doesn't stick together.
Yeah, that's very important, actually. So the cheese sauce, you were saying that...
This is the important part.
Well, you've tried...
Every time I cook cheese sauce, it ends up grainy and weird. And what I want is I want the stuff that I would have bought at Costco out of a can, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
I have a very soft spot in my heart for fake cheese sauce.
But
I'm sorry, I said it.
No, that's okay. But those canned things are full of chemicals we don't want.
I know. I don't
and those
want the
chemicals help
chemicals.
create this texture that you like.
How
you
do I
don't
make
need them.
How do I make the beautiful, viscous, lovely, smooth cheese sauce for my mac and cheese?
So we've talked in the past about making stocks and sauces and stuff like that.
Yes.
What we're gonna, you kind of follow some of that, the method.
Okay.
Where you chop up some onions and some garlic or some shallots, whatever, some mix of that stuff. You sweat them out, little oil, butter, both, a little bit of salt, get that going, translucent. Don't try not to get any color. I add a little bit of white wine.
Okay.
I add a little bit of beer.
Okay.
That nuttiness when you cook the beer down is really nice. You bring it till it's almost dry. Then I add heavy cream.
Hold on,
Sure.
hold. Is there a specific type of beer you need to use over another
No.
one?
I mean, if you
You could use an IPA, you could use
a port or a lager.
a porter, a lager, or a Bud Light.
You can use a Bud Light. If you want something crispy, and you don't even, because you're not really going to taste it as much, the darker the beer, the more flavor it's going to impart.
Okay.
So if you're using really good cheese, I would go a lighter beer. If you're saving some bucks on the cheese, I'd go a darker beer just to get that nuttiness.
I'm from Salinas. Can I use a Coors Light?
I think you can. Oh, what does that mean?
If you know, you know. Please
don't know.
continue.
From the East Coast, Salinas means asparagus to me. And you, by the way, you and asparagus. So anyway, so we have that down. The beer, the wine, it's reducing. I
Okay.
add the heavy cream, a good amount of it, and then reduce it by half so it's a little bit thicker, like a
Okay.
double cream at this point. And now, separate of that, I have cold. I like a good cheddar, like a sharp cheddar.
Okay.
And I'll get one of those box graters, or if you have a Robocoup or a Cuisinart thing. And
Hold.
Yep.
Cheddar out of a bag, already grated. Yes or no?
Sure. Why not?
Yes?
Yeah, you're going to
What
the
about
store.
all this stuff about Oh, well, it's got sawdust on it to keep it separated, and it doesn't melt, and you can't use that. Blah, blah,
Who
blah.
are you hanging out with?
Oh, Alton Brown.
There it is. So, yeah, there's tapioca maltodextrin. They use that as a separating thing so that
Yes.
it doesn't stick.
Does it still melt?
Sure, yeah, it melts. Of course it melts. So cold grated cheese. You could box grate it. You can put it in one of those things. You can buy already grated if you're just stretched for time, and that's not a bad thing.
It's going to melt, though, no problem.
It is. You have your
Okay.
whisk ready. Now that cream is reduced by half, and little by little, just whisk that stuff in. And when it's all mixed together, taste it. You can add some salt, a splash of lemon juice, something to bring up the acidity, splash of champagne vinegar, some pepper. You can, at this point, add hot sauce if you want. You can add herbs.
What makes it grainy?
It's the fact that what some of these recipes call for is cornstarch to dust the cheese. Some of these recipes call for a mix of everything. The problem is you haven't bloomed that starch, so it's impossible for it to dissolve
What
in
is
solution.
blooming?
It's kind of like it's when you put a liquid or a solid into a liquid, and the liquid then absorbs. So, for example, if you've ever made desserts with gelatin, you get that powdered gelatin.
Okay.
Normally, you have to sprinkle it over water. By the way, that stuff comes from pork. So if you're a vegetarian, don't go the gelatin route. But a lot of pastry chefs use it. You sprinkle that powdered gelatin over water, and that protein and that salt suck up the moisture because then it doesn't. It dissolves in solution.
Okay.
Kind of like these starches with the cheese. There's too much going on. There's water, there's fats, there's solids. If you do it this way, like you're making a sauce, you reduce that stuff down, and then the cream, you reduce that down. That heavy cream, that reduced cream, is going to kind of hold everything together. You whisk in your cheese little by little, and then you'll see. Now it's gonna not look perfectly together. Taste it, salt it the way you want it, splash of lemon juice, maybe some vinegar, pepper, hot sauce, herbs, whatever the hell you want, and then you can strain it. You don't have to, but you could. And by doing that, then you taste it
Strain
again,
it?
like through a colander or through like a little strainer, a mesh strainer, or something like that. You don't have to, because then if there are any little pieces, they get caught in the strainer. Now you got this thing. If it's still too thin, you can do a little cornstarch and water as like what we called a slurry in the past, and just whisk that in until it thickens up a little bit, and you're good. Taste it again. You're feeling good about it. You got your cooked pasta. You got your creamy sauce without any texture.
Do I have to keep the sauce at a certain temperature? Does
No,
it get weird when it gets cold?
No, not at all. At that point, it'll solidify, but then you just melt it down again. You're ready to go.
Okay.
That reduced cream gives you longevity. It gives you structure. It's the way to
So
go.
the cream is the key.
I think so.
Okay.
Some of these recipes call for evaporated milk. That's the thing you don't have to buy. I don't
Okay.
understand it.
What if my family is dairy free? Can I use an alternative
Yes.
milk? A nut milk, if you will, which
can.
is fun to say.
It's sort of. You could use nut milk. You could use coconut milk. You could use a soy milk.
Can you?
I think we're going in the wrong direction.
No, but can
know.
you? Can you actually use an alternative
yeah,
milk?
but the thing is, they don't have the same amount of protein.
Right, that's my
They have a
question.
little bit of a higher water content.
Right.
Terry's laughing at us, by the way.
'Cause-
Yeah, because anyway,
Nut milk.
Nut milk is and then but that cornstarch and liquid slurry I mentioned just a second ago.
Yes.
At the end, you're going to need probably a little bit more of that to get the texture, but you can do it. There's also cashew and coconut-based cheeses that you can use.
All right,
And
now
so
we're going off the rails.
there are options,
Okay.
but just remember the cornstarch and water thing. The more of that is what you'll need to bring that together if you're not using, if you're going to try to go vegan or
Okay.
totally dairy-free.
Can you write a recipe out for us, please?
Sure.
Because none of this was helpful.
That's because you said nut milk and now you can't think of anything else, which is fine.
Okay.
Your mind went back to
So
Salinas.
I've got my cheese sauce.
Yep.
I've added my pasta,
Yep.
and now I'm gonna jam that into a fancy ramekin,
Okay.
and I'm gonna cover it with panko. I'm gonna have some already cooked bacon lardons
Right.
and maybe some shallots,
Sure.
some minced shallot.
Cook them up a little bit before.
Cook
don't
them
go
up a
raw.
little bit
Yeah.
before. I cover the mac and cheese with the panko, which I've probably ground down.
You know, if you're buying panko out of a box like toasted breadcrumbs,
It's not going to be fine enough, right?
No, I like it coarse.
You do like it
because
coarse.
the cheese is going to soak into that bread a little bit, so you'll get this
All right.
nice crispy thing. The finer it is, the more it's going to disappear.
And then I put it under the broiler. Yes?
I wouldn't.
Okay, go ahead. You go. You're the
The
pro.
reason I wouldn't, so what I would do is, if you're going to do the bacon and the shallot thing, mix, like you could take a mixing bowl, sauce, pasta, mix everything together so it's evenly distributed.
Okay.
Taste it again, because those things are going to change the flavor. Then go into your ramekins.
Hold on.
What do you mean?
Mac and cheese, sauce, plus panko and bacon
Not the
all
panko.
mixed together?
Sorry, I should have been clearer. The panko stays aside. That's what we're going to put on top.
Panko's aside.
So the bacon, whatever herbs, whatever shallots, your cooked pasta, your sauce. Mix all that together.
Put it in the ramekin. cover it with panko.
You could cover it with panko. A little chef trick on top of the panko, a little
Yeah.
grated Parmesan cheese or cheddar cheese on top
Dirty.
to protect the
Dirty.
bread from burning. That's
Okay.
good stuff.
Oh, to protect the bread from burning.
Yes.
And then how
I'm
do
ass-
I finish it?
So the broiler is aggressive because if this is all hot, the sauce is hot, okay, you're onto something. But if you're starting from room temperature, you want to heat it through. So
Okay.
I would recommend not the broiler because it can be such high direct heat, it's not going to get inside. You're going to char the outside and not get the warmth inside.
This is the pro content that we're paying for right now. So then how do I finish?
450 degrees Fahrenheit in the oven. Watch it.
Uh-huh.
When that breadcrumb and cheese layer on top is all crispy and crusty, maybe burning a little on the side. Don't mind the burnt edges. Pull it out and go.
Okay.
You're done.
I'm doing it tonight.
And that way the cheese is creamy and smooth. You got your garnish ready. So you've got your sauce ready, your pasta's cooked, all your stuff is ready. You mix it together. The breadcrumbs don't go in, they stay on top, and a little cheese to protect the breadcrumbs. Don't broil, because you might kill it.
Yeah.
High heat oven.
450.
Cook it through. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
Mac and cheese tonight. There you go.
Did I just prove myself to you that I actually know how to make mac and cheese? Because earlier there wasn't a whole lot of trust earlier.
He might be a professional chef.
Might be.
I don't know. Hey, thank you for joining us for Chef's Day Off.
Sorry about Marcus. Matthew Dolan from 25 Lusk. I'm going to go to the roof and cook the mac and cheese that's on my menu.
Come visit our guy here in San Francisco.
And listen to Star 113 in the morning with Marcus and Corey.
Those were good plugs.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you next week.
I'm learning.